crazy mother.
Welcome to Geeks Talk FC Premier League predictions, match day 4. Well, once again, it's the end of those dreaded international breaks. Can't stand them. Don't think any football fan can stand them, really. Just a fixture pile up, players getting injured and all that. But there you go, the FA want to keep them, what can you do? Anyway, kicking things off then. Saturday afternoon fixture, and what a fixture it is. Manchester United versus Manchester City. What a start to your weekend with the Premier League back again. Dan, what's your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, just adding on to the international break. No sane man, woman, child, obviously watching national football. Surely it's definitely when the missus says, the shed needs painting, don't they? They try to get you to get the chores in, or carpet needs relaying, or the dog needs a wash or something boring. I'd rather watch the paint dry and watch some of them internationals. They are shocking, but yeah.
To be fair, it does get you out of the old chores though, mate. Do you know what I mean? Isn't it excuse? I think that's the only good use about them, to be fair. But
yeah, I suppose so. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones, take the car for a wash, didn't you? Get the old cheeky 1-2s, get the old spray out. But yeah, moving on to this fixture, what an absolute cracker we have on the first game in September. Manchester United versus Manchester City. What a game. They missed out narrowly playing each other in Asia in pre-season, called off due to the pitch. Suspect. What can you say? I mean, a bit of a ding-dong game. Both teams be looking to go all out there for you. Man United bang on form. So is City. Both 9 points out and a possible 9 each. City leading the way on goal difference. Man United obviously going back their old ways, nicking games late on, as we mentioned on the whole game when they nicked it 1-0, Marcus Rashford as well. And City seem to be in cruise control, still in first gear really, if you ask me. Top of the league. Pep still got his little wand out, working magic. Prediction for that one, I'm going to go score draw 2-2.
Yeah, we all look forward to the weekend, and we look forward to the weekend even more when it's big games like this. Get your afternoon going. Like you said, Dan, Manchester United and Manchester City both winning 3 out of 3. Man City obviously winning those 2 Champions League qualifiers as well, so they've actually won 5 in a row. Pep's doing absolute wonders down at the Etihad, and finally it's going to be a real test for both teams to see whereabouts they're at in this season. Manchester United, it's a home game, it's a derby. Fans are going to be all up for it. Pep v Mourinho, we've seen it all before. It always kicks off before in recent games, and
tyres go flying,
couple of tyres,
water bottles,
shoes flying all over the shop. That was in Spain. Is it going to be more respectful in England? I don't think so, mate. If Man City start tearing them apart, I can't see Mourinho just sitting there. He's going to be out on the touchline head to head with Pep, so that's going to be good to see as well. But apart from that, getting on predictions, I'm also going to go for a draw, but I'm going to go for 1-1 score draw.
There we go then. So we both went for a draw. I went for a Desmond 2-2, and Mason's gone for a 1-1. So both gone for a draw there. Cracking game to start us off with Geezer Talks round of fixtures this weekend as well. Moving straight on to the next fixture, one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Going back home to the Emirates will be Arsenal versus Southampton. Do believe it was 0-0 last season, and Fraser Forster, if he could get 12 out of 10, the fella saved everything. He's like those 4 or 5 goalkeepers
they
there.
Love a good performance against Arsenal.
Southampton, Arsenal's a banging game to watch in the Premiership as well. Big game for Arsenal, obviously getting their first win of the season. Key players coming back. Sanchez turned up with his new fresh number 1 over his head. And Southampton seem to be obviously stuttering. Another draw, new manager, similar players. They don't seem to have a rhythm at the moment, Southampton. So straight in my fixtures here, I'm going to go with an Arsenal 2-0 win. Big men back, should have Giroud in. Let's see if Mustafi and Perez start or even make the bench. They should do. They seem a little bit thin on the bench. They don't seem to have a plan B, Arsenal. But let's see. On a Southampton note, hopefully you do put in a performance, not what you've done against Man United at Old Trafford and seem to chase shadows. I can see Arsenal. It's a big old pitch at the Emirates, just obviously running rings around them. I've been proved wrong in a few times in these fixtures. But yeah, 2-0 Arsenal. Over to the Arsenal man. Mason, what's your predictions?
Well, first of all, we've got to start on saying, Arsenal fans, we've signed some players. We've signed some players. I can't believe it, mate. Even though I'm buzzing about that, people, we have got to take a moment for the Gunnosaurus. I mean, I did see him out on the streets giving out his P45. We had to make some cuts, didn't we? We had to get rid of a few stuff. Obviously, that Arsenal geezer as well, handing in his resignation
via Twitter.
So we had to make some cuts, but we got a couple of players. We got Perez and we got Mustafi. Here we go, Wes. Finally, Wenger's got his checkbook out. He's done that cheeky smile, what he does when he's having an interview. So finally, let's see what we can do now. Like you said, Dan, Sanchez on fire, Ozil on fire, Giroud should be back, Koscielny's on fire. I'm finally a bit more positive on here. I'm well happy. But of all the games to have, after your first victory in the Premier League this season, if we got Southampton, our bogey team, we all know as Arsenal fans, they love to pull out a massive performance against us. They've had a dusty performance in their last fixture. We're in 1-1 against Sunderland at home, which I don't think anyone see that coming. And you know what's going to happen now. They're going to turn up against us and cause us havoc. But I'm going to stick on the positive side this time, and I'm going to go over Arsenal 3-0 rout. On to the next 3 o'clock kickoff then, Bournemouth versus West Brom. Another one of those dusty games. Glad it ain't on Super Sunday for a change. A game like that seems like it would have made Super Sunday, so I'm glad it's a 3 o'clock kickoff and no one can see it unless you want to stream it. No offence to you Bournemouth West Brom games, just saying it's not really a glamorous fixture. You know, if it was Arsenal v Bournemouth, it wouldn't really be a glamorous fixture at all. So that's how it is, isn't it, really? So both teams got draws in their last fixtures then. Both really need to kickstart their season. Strikers seeming to be the problem for both teams on this one. Bournemouth looking real lacklustre, even though they have got a ton of strikers. Callum Wilson, Benicophobe, people like that. Really need to get their form going if they want their team to stay in the Premier League. And West Brom, I don't know, they just seem real in trouble to me. We all know that they can defend, but scoring goals always seems to be a problem for Tony Pulis' side. He really needs a big goal scorer to do bits. This one for me is going to be a hard one to call, and I'm going to sit on the fence then, and there's going to be another score draw for this one, and I'm going to go over 1-1.
Yeah, it's another fixture coming around for Bournemouth versus West Brom. Tricky fixture, to be fair. Bournemouth don't seem to have got going, nor the West Brom, as Mason touched on. Goals seem to be like gold dust at both teams as well. Before a ball been kicked, both teams are tipped to do half decently if they put in the effort to sign quality players. Bournemouth seem to buy in bulk, and West Brom don't seem to buy anyone apart from OAPs like Darren Fletcher and have about 6 defenders on the pitch. Down at the South Coast as well, Bournemouth will be looking to make this a fortress at home. They need to really sit in second bottom at the moment, only on goal difference above Stoke, who surprisingly are bottom, so we get back to them in a second as well when their fixture comes round. Prediction for this weekend for Bournemouth West Brom, I'm going to go for a narrow home win, 1-0 Bournemouth. Moving straight on to another Saturday afternoon 3 o'clock kickoff. Both newly promoted boys, Burnley Football Club versus Hull City. Bit of a ding dong as well, 6-pointer. Hull obviously doing well to start, obviously got 2 wins in 2. And Burnley had that fantastic result against Liverpool at home, and obviously 2 defeats to Swansea and Chelsea. So again, they seem to have a lot of home fixtures, Burnley. I'm not too sure whether it's just me. Another tough fixture to call. Mike Phelan obviously signing Andy Marshall prior to the window closing, so he's bringing a goalkeeper. Burnley obviously with John Flanagan coming in and starting again at left back, hopefully steady up their back 4. Can't see nothing more than a draw here. I'm going to go with a score draw, 1-1. Mason, what's your thoughts?
Well, yeah, Hull fans have got a feel for you. Putting a fantastic performance against Manchester United. No way was that deserved. Typical last-minute Man United goal. Real kick in the teeth after that performance. So I'm just hoping Hull City can pick up their heads and do the business in this fixture to get a bit of redemption. Obviously, it's going to be a hard one. Burnley at home once again, Dan, like you said. We all know the Burnley fans get right behind the team. But for me, I really want to see Hull do something with all their problems. So for me, I'm going to go over 1-0 Hull City win. Next game then, Middlesbrough versus Crystal Palace. I mean, Middlesbrough fans will take that. I mean, if you said to them, you played 3 and you've got 5 points, I'm pretty sure Middlesbrough fans would have snapped that right up at the start of the season. Done really well. Obviously, Stuani doing all sorts. Negredo getting goals. So they're looking not too bad. Apart from that dusty game last weekend against West Brom, they're not looking too bad. And I think they're going to stay up this season. Crystal Palace are in dire need of kicking off their Premier League season. 17th at the moment on goal difference. Obviously, Benteke's there. And all Palace fans will be hoping he gets his first goal as well, because they're in dire need of goals. Me, because of Middlesbrough's good start and Palace's urgency to get points on the board, I think they're going to go all out Crystal Palace, and I think they're going to turn up the heat. I think they're just going to nick it though. I think it's going to be a 1-0 Crystal Palace win.
Yeah, got to totally agree with you. I think it's going to be one game too many for Borough. Seems to obviously got the run of form. I think the international break come too quick for them as well. I think it's come at a good time for Palace to bed in Christian Benteke. Started against Bournemouth. Played in the midweek game in the League Cup game as well. I think he looked a bit leggy. So, a couple of weeks at South London for him to settle in, talk to the boys who ain't gone on international break. I'm not too sure if he did get called up for Belgium. So, for Pardew's perspective, hopefully, also he gets to stay at home, gets bedded into this Palace team, gets stuck in of training, get his head down. Can't see nothing more than a Palace win here. I'm going to go 2-1 Palace. Benteke to open up his account. Moving on to our next fixture to preview and give our predictions will be Stoke City versus Tottenham Hotspur. a regular Premiership fixture of recent years as well. Always been ding dong. If anyone remembers that Gareth Bale goal at the Britannia when he seemed to do his Bruce Lee
what finish
volley, top bins. And obviously there's been another couple of good goals in that fixture as well. Good game again. Obviously Stoke, rock bottom of the Premiership at the moment. Mark Hughes' men are desperate for 3 points. And Pochettino's men, I know they salvaged a 1-1 against Liverpool. I don't really think they deserved that, but maybe that's the West Ham in me just saying that. But big game for both teams. Spurs don't want to lose track of the top 6. They are currently in 7th. Fun enough, just above Arsenal, but by a point. But see if they finish.
You have to mention that, mate. Did you
crafty. And then Stoke, rock bottom. Mark Hughes again. We don't like to see managers get the sack, but the board at Stoke must be looking at that. Rock bottom, behind the likes of Bournemouth, Watford, Palace and Sunderland. Stoke fans, is it got that drastic yet? I'm going to go with a 2-0 Tottenham win. And I said it the week before, Harry Kane to break his duck, and it's got to be a pen, because otherwise he don't score, does he? Thoughts on that, Mace?
I don't know why you had to bring up that Tottenham were sitting above us. We all know, come the end of the season, they always finish below us, regardless of what happens. So I'm not worried about that at all. But yeah, getting into the Stoke v Tottenham game, like I said, Stoke rock bottom of the table. Obviously, it's still early doors, but Stoke fans will really want to see their team get going. And if there's any way to do it after that international break, regroup themselves, have a long look in the mirror, to sort themselves out and put on a massive performance at home for the Stoke fans. Word on Tottenham then, obviously, getting that draw against Liverpool last weekend. I think they've still got a long way to go to get their season starting, especially Harry Kane not getting off the mark. Jansen's not really done too much. Ali's been quiet. Lamela's looking inconsistent, so their players really need to step up if they want to come to Stoke and get those 3 points. For me, I think Stoke are going to come back after that international break, put on a hell of a show and show a bit of passion, and I think they're going to turn over the Spurs 2-1. Next feature then, West Ham v Watford. What a key game this is for West Ham. Obviously getting spanked by Man City the other week. It's not looking too good for Bilic men. We all know they've got a lot of injuries, but some of the player performances, they've got no excuse, especially that performance against Astra. Obviously as well, Gökhan Toure, this guy that you've brought in on loan, Dan, he's terrible. I ain't really got any words to say. He's shocking. But maybe that man Zaza, your new signing, might pull a worldly performance out of the bag and get West Ham through at home at your new Olympic Stadium. Well, and Watford then obviously got smashed by the Gunners in their last fixture. Obviously, I'm going to be a bit biased. They didn't really get smashed. You did play well, to be fair. I think for a lot of you Watford fans, you just want to see your boys Igalo and Troy Deeney get on to the score sheet. Etienne and Capoue been doing bits for you at the moment. Them two need to get going. And then I think Watford will start shooting up the table. But for me, on this one, if West Ham get all their players back, Zaza starts. It's at home. It's at the Olympic Stadium. It's going to be a West Ham 2-1 win.
There we go. There's his predictions for West Ham versus Watford. The fixture I've been looking out for. Big fixture for West Ham fans. Obviously, Mason knows obviously a massive rant after that Astro Judo, whatever their names were. 2 years in a bloody row. Back to back. If I had much hair left on my head, I would have pulled it all out. It's just absolute woeful. The language coming out. They would have rated it, I don't know, what's it, 15 or 18 in cinemas now, the amount of swearing going on. Absolute shocking.
What about that geezer on that video? That geezer.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's. If you were on Twitter, there was something going viral. This West Ham fan outside the ground. I don't really blame him. Went on for about 2-3 minutes. I see Dave Sullivan Jr. and Jack Sullivan retweet it. Sometimes I think they do it to wind up the fans. It was absolute woeful. Just a little rant before I go on to this fixture. 3 bloody midfield players, defensive midfield players, against a team who play in Romania. Why? It was 1-1 for God's sake. It weren't like we was playing Real Madrid. We were playing Astra Juju. Astra Juju. It sounds like if we had to move to Mars and that is the food we had to eat. That is awful. 2 years on the spin. But moving on a positive note, Zaza signed. Payet's back hopefully for this fixture. Lanzini come on against City and done a few bits. Antonio getting called up for England. At left back spot, I'm not too sure who's going to get it when Creswell and Makakasu, and West Ham fan can't even pronounce his name. But the new fella coming in from Olympiacos has done really well. Gone straight into the team at left back. I mean, it's a problem area for us. Done really well against City. The likes of Nolito, De Bruyne, Sterling going against them. I thought he played well. The scoreline flattered West Ham really. Again, a fixture which we don't look forward to. If everyone remembers rightly, that fixture we wore that notorious black away kit and Roger Johnson backing away from Yaya Toure. I think it was 7-0 or 7-1. Absolute trounce in the cup. 3-1 that finished at this Etihad as well. So most West Ham fans would have been happy with us just scoring. Personally, it was all doom and gloom before that. But big fixture for West Ham. Narrowly beating Bournemouth against 10 men out of Europe. This is a fixture where we'll be looking to push on as well. Watford again in the bottom 3, 1 point from a possible 9. Watford again, it's a big fixture for them. So both teams on the neutral would be saying a draw. Deeney and Garlo haven't really got going. West Ham haven't got going. But being a West Ham fan, I'm going to go for the home run. We're not playing baseball. I'm going to go for a home win. I'm going to go for a 3-1 West Ham win. Reason I say Watford to score, if you've looked back on the fixtures, they've scored in every fixture. So 3-1 West Ham. Come on, you Irons. Moving on to our Saturday night fixture. What a ding-dong of a game.
Okay, can I just say one thing here, mate? You know this ding-dong word?
Ding-dong, I don't know.
I think,
yeah, it's definitely a new one. You know why, don't you? I keep seeing all these girls with their Fiat 500s tweeting about it's only 200 days till Christmas. Get over yourselves, will ya? You're going to be posting pictures from Google images of your Harrod stuff. We all know Christmas round the corner as well. You know, we've just had summer. Let's enjoy the weather while it's here. Liverpool versus Leicester City, champions going around fields. Liverpool at home at Anfield with their new stand built in. I do believe that's why they've had quite a few away fixtures. Liverpool fans looking forward to doing that new main stand as well. And Leicester on that back of that torrential downpour at the King Power Stadium, where it nearly got called off, I think, by the Gareth Gates going on. By reports in the media as well, obviously, with their torrential downpour. Jamie Vardy breaking his duck at Leicester, getting that goal. What a ping off the post and in. Liverpool seem to be gathering some sort of momentum under Klopp. A little bit inconsistent. They do leak goals as well. We've mentioned him a couple of times. Sadio Mane for Liverpool. I don't know how no one else has picked this fella up. He's just got pace, goals, ability. Southampton fans will know more, but he's sort of in the headlights of Geezer Talk FC at the moment, doing bits in pre-season, doing bits for Liverpool in these 3 opening games. So he'd be the man to watch out for. Leicester again, obviously, bringing in Islami from Sporting Club Portugal, commonly known as Sporting Lisbon, breaking their club record fee with him as well. So another striker in the doors for Leicester. Ranieri ain't silly. He knows what he's got to do. For Leicester to have an half-decent season, it's goals. We keep saying it. Goals. Get your wins. Kevin Keegan style football. 4-3s, 5-4s, 6-6 or whatever fixtures you got. Leicester have got to get goals. See goals in this fixture, but I'm going to go for a narrow home win. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Liverpool win. And Sadio Mane to score at any time, so I love to throw them in there. I'm going to go with Mane this week to score any time for Liverpool. Narrow 2-1 win. Moving on to Mason's predictions for this Saturday night fixture.
Yeah, looking forward to this Saturday night game. Liverpool v Leicester, what a fixture then. I'll start off with Liverpool then. They're looking really good. I mean, that performance against Tottenham was superb. They deserve more than a point. And they're doing this all without a striker. Firmino's playing in the middle with Coutinho and Mane either side. But it seems to be working for them. They're playing some real sharp football, passing the ball around nice. It seems like Klopp's done a really good job down there. I don't see them as Premier League contenders at all, but they're definitely going to be up there this season, pushing on for that Champions League spot. On to Leicester then, finally got that first win of the season against Swansea. And obviously that man, Jamie Vardy, getting his account off with an absolute belter of a finish, posting in. And he's definitely going to be up and running now. For me, this is going to be a cracking game for you Saturday night. I'm going to see Jamie Vardy scoring goals, Sadio Mane scoring goals, and I'm going to go with a 2-2 score draw. On that end to that Sunday afternoon fixture, Swansea versus Chelsea. Just a one game on this Sunday then, and Chelsea will be looking to push on once again and get that 4th win out of 4. They're looking the part, sharp. Conte's doing all sorts standing there at the moment. And like I said in the previous video, without no Champions League, all their concentration is on this Premier League. And I really feel that they're definitely going to be right up there. Swansea losing their last 2 fixtures against Leicester and Hull City. That man Leroy Fer, if you did watch our Swansea preview, he's the one that's carrying Swansea at the moment, scoring goals and doing bits in the midfield, so he needs to push on. But this one, the fans need to get behind them. It's a home fixture, it's against Chelsea, so automatically it gets the fans buzzing anyway. Any big clash like that, everyone's right up for it. I can't see Chelsea coming in winning. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling that Swansea are going to turn up for this one. I don't think they're going to quite win it either, so I'm going to sit on the fence. It's going to be a score draw. I'm going to go over 1-1.
There we go. There we got Mason's prediction on the Swansea-Chelsea game. He has a soft spot for Swansea, I do believe. Big fixture for Swansea. 1 win in 3. and obviously informed Chelsea coming to the Liberty Stadium. Swansea obviously need to start picking up points very quickly or they'll be looking over their shoulder. Big season for a lot of clubs in the Premiership as well. They don't want to be going back down to the Championship, which is a humongous task to get out of. Obviously, likes of Newcastle in there as well, and Brighton and other teams. So yeah, I mean, Swansea will be looking to go forward on this as well. They seem to have some half-decent games against Chelsea, so it'll be a good game to watch on Sunday afternoon. It's a late kick-off as well. I'm not too sure whether we can call it a Super Sunday at one fixture. Chelsea obviously banging form. Conte obviously got away with his first fixture at the Bridge, 2-1, and then they won 2-1 at Vicarage Road, and they won 3-0 against Burnley. So if you're going to be critical of Chelsea, they haven't really played anyone in form, or they played West Ham at the Bridge first game of the season, which we knew they obviously would bang up for, and they was going to win at all costs, wouldn't they? With Costa up front, can't see nothing more of a Chelsea win here. Banging form. Swansea don't seem to have got going. New fella in charge doesn't seem to understand the Premiership. A little bit doom and gloom in South of Wales. I'm going to go for Chelsea 4-0 win. Absolute run riot.
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. You heard it. 4-0.
4-0, there you go.
4-0. They're going to run riot. Hazard at any time. Willian at any time. Costa to bite someone or kick someone at any time. Conte to have more or less an heart attack on the halfway line. But yeah, so 4-0 Chelsea. There's my predictions there for you. Moving on to the Monday night game, which will be Sunderland home fixture versus Everton. Sunderland will have to make the Stadium Light a fortress like most teams in this Premiership. They can't be sitting in the bottom 6. I think they're 16th at the minute. 1 point from 3. A lot of teams seem to be on 1 point, 2 point. Home fixtures are going to be key this year, I think, for a lot of clubs. Jermaine Defoe seems to be banging form, as we keep mentioning. One of our favourites, Patrick Van Aanholt. If you're going to put any bets on this for that Monday night fixture, I would definitely squeeze him in with a cheeky pound bet on him to score at any time or anything on him as well. Everton seem to be in first gear under Ronald Koeman. Barclays showing glimpses as well. Got away with one against Stoke with that fluky penalty Leighton Baines missed, come off Shay Given's head and went in. Both teams obviously looking to get a bit of run of form as well. Definitely going to sit on the fence for this one. I'm going to go with a score draw 1-1 over the Mason.
Well, yeah, this ain't a bad Monday night fixture. Sunderland v Everton. Everton unbeaten. I mean, they got that draw against Tottenham, then they went on to beat West Brom, and then they went on to beat Stoke. So yeah, Everton fans can't be too sad, to be fair. They haven't been playing the greatest of football, and players haven't been playing too well, but they've been getting the results, and they're sitting fourth at the moment with 7 points, so not too bad at all for Koeman's men. Well, on Sunderland, I mean, it's always going to be a tough season for them. The players they've got, the squad they've got, isn't of the highest quality at all. But they're always in for a shout. Like we always say with that man, Jermaine Defoe, he scores goals. And if you can score goals in the Premier League, then you're halfway there. Because we all know it's so hard to find a goal scorer these days. But it's going to be a good clash. I think Everton are going to be too much Sunderland. And I think they're going to nick it. So I'm going for a 1-0 Everton win. So that's it then. That's our match day 4 predictions. Going back to match day 3 predictions then, obviously, like we said, we've got that scoreboard going and we're getting a point for each correct result and for the correct scoreline. We sat here and tallied up our predictions, and I've come out on top. Absolute smashing it this weekend, I might add, to be fair. Finished up with me finishing on 10 points, and Danny finishing up on 5 points. He's gone a bit quiet. He's sort of turned to the side. He's not happy. I can see it in his face. But I'm not going to rub salt in the wound, to be fair. But yeah, that's put me 3-1 up now on that scoreboard. Ever closer to me skipping that forfeit. I can definitely see a couple of sweat drops dripping from his forehead at the moment. Even though we're on match day 4, he knows he could be well in for that forfeit. Still haven't decided on what it's going to be, to be fair. I think we'll do that later in the season. But yeah, I look forward to that. So apart from that, that's it. That's our predictions and our tally from last week. Hope you've all enjoyed this video. As always, like, share and subscribe. Much appreciated here at Geezer Talk as always. And from me and Danny, have a good one.